What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hoodie Jube back with another live podcast. And if you don't know, you will know. There's no YouTube without your boy Hoodie Jube. Man, I got a few things to talk about today. So I'm gonna wait for some people to get in the chat. We got 3 people already, so welcome. Like I always say, don't be scared to comment. Let me know who's in here. And I'll wait for a few people to roll in before I get on the topics. And it looks like we already had some people earlier, y'all, in the chat before the live stream started. So I'm gonna show some of their messages right now. Mr. Elite said who that earlier. Saints 01 joined in, said who that, y'all. And Mr. Keenet was in here saying he's ready. 8:30 p.m. is gonna be his time because he's from Florida, so it's gonna be a little bit later, and that's about an hour. So I'm gonna let a few people get in here before I start everything. So welcome to the chat, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Looks like we got Mr. Saints 01 in the building already. Saints 01 said, "What's up? What up, man? Just chilling today with my day off, so kind of chilled today. And I was just waiting for some Saints news to pop up, and next thing you know, we got something that we're gonna be talking about in a little bit. Just waiting on a few other people to get in here, so we don't have to go over the same stuff, multiple times with people. But Saints 01 is in here. Let's see who else is gonna be joining. So how was your day today, Mr. Saints 01? Good? Let me know how your day was. And as everybody's joining the live chat, comment who's here. And then in a few minutes, I'm going to start on all the topics. So, and 2 people in the chat so far. Mr. Saints 01's in here for sure. I remember him just commenting just a few seconds ago. And let me read your comment from earlier, Mr. Saints 01. And it said that you put, I'm going to say this right now, Wilson's going to go off, top 5 QB this season. He's going to be leading in touchdown by week 6. He's going to outplay Roger. Yes, I said that, outplay Rodgers for the win Sunday. I can definitely see him outplaying Rodgers for sure. I feel like his arm talent is going to be a lot better since he's a lot younger. So, like I said, as long as this man plays smart and limits that turnovers for us, I think we'll be straight. We got us a future franchise quarterback in the building with us for sure. But like I said, we're going to keep waiting for some more people to come in here, comment in the chat so we can know who's all in here before I start on the main topic. We got Madison Kimbrough in here saying, "Hey, that's my girl. So, how you doing?" Mr. Jerry's up in here. Hoodie Jube, what up, Jerry? How are you doing today, man? Yes, sir. You are back. And hopefully soon we'll see all the people that was here last night up in the chat. We're going to be back in a second. Saints 01, no, Mr. Jerry OG. He is the OG of getting people subscribers for sure. This man shows the love for every Saints YouTuber. That's the good thing about Mr. Jerry. Mr. Jerry said Trey. So we must have somebody in here with Trey. Let's see, Madison. Ready to get home I bet you are. I bet you're ready to get off. So in a little bit, I feel like she's gonna be off sooner or later, and she's gonna be walking through that door, you know. So if you see any interruptions, it's gonna be her just walking in from work. So I guess while we got a few people in here so far, I know I was gonna wait for a few more people, but since we got a good amount right now, I'm gonna start on the first topic for today, y'all. So it was just released a few hours ago, while I was eating dinner, and the Saints have released Latavius Murray. So, for some of the reports that I read, supposedly the Saints released Latavius Murray, basically because they were trying to get him to reduce his contract this year and save about, maybe $4 to $5 million, just to help the cap space out, and he wouldn't do it, so they just released him. But on the other hand, people are saying that they released him because of that, and to release him to make space for Desmond Trufant, because they did sign him today. So Desmond Trufant has been signed to a 1-year deal. They didn't go into the numbers with it, but they said he is signed definitely today after us releasing Latavius Murray. So that opened up a spot. Mr. Jerry up in here saying, "Hey, Madison." So, Jerry and Saints don't won. What are y'all thoughts so far on the Saints releasing Mr. Latavius Murray? Like me, it was sad because, he was the one carrying us for like the 3 or 4 games when Kamara was hurt. But at the same time, he wasn't really improving like he normally would, especially in the preseason. In the camp, they said he wasn't looking the same. So maybe we saved ourselves from a little bit of cap space by releasing him. And also, I feel like Murray ain't getting, any younger, so maybe that helps us a little bit. And I feel like with Kamara going to have a lot more touches this year, so I feel like Kamara's going to get at least 1,000 rushing yards and probably like 1,000 receiving yards this year. I feel like he's going to get a lot of touches. And now with Tony Jones Jr. being number 2 running back, he can finally prove himself, since last year he really didn't get no playing time, basically because there was no preseason, there was no offseason to actually show himself. So that's something that I'm ready to see this season too, to see how they're going to use Tony Jones as the backup now since Latavius Murray's gone. Mr. Jerry posted, "I enjoyed your stream on that night. Even TJ Jones loved it." Yes, sir. Thank y'all for it. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it too. And I did see Mr. TJ, he liked it too. He left a little comment for me on there when I woke up this morning. It says, "Keep up the hard work." So I'm definitely going to keep up that hard work. And just to get that from another YouTuber that has, like almost 7,000 subscribers, that's really, motivate me even more, makes me more happier, knowing that, hey, I'm doing something here and I know it's going to grow sooner or later. So I'm just ready to blow up and get all these, subscribers and be able to bring y'all to some Saints games and enjoy a whole day of Saints, With the Saints 01 in here saying, "I say AK goes for 1,000 and Tony Jones is a beast. I love Murray Dale, but it's business, man." I know, same thing I say. I love AK. I feel like he's gonna do, like I said, the 1,000, so 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. Tony Jones gonna be a beast. He's really good at finding the hole and the open space that he needs to, and he can block really well. So I really like that. And like you just said too, I agree with you. I love Murray, loved him as a backup. Him and Kamara was a 2-1 punch, but like everybody says, it's business. If he would have took the pay cut, he could have stood on the roster. He didn't want it. He didn't want to cut it for us. So they released him, and with that release, we signed Desmond Trufant. So we got us a good veteran cornerback in the building now with us to help out Lattimore and the Debo and to add depth, So that's a good thing. But yes, thank you for what you did, Latavius Murray, and thank you for being with the Saints. Hopefully you can still find another team that will pick you up after you are done with the waivers. And I guess one team this dude might could go to is the Ravens, because they definitely need a running back, because all their running backs got hurt. So that would be interesting to see if he goes maybe to the Ravens or somebody. And I guess another topic right now that I want to go over right now with everybody in here is that I was in Mr. TJ's podcast today on State of the Saints podcast, and I was watching this dude in the comments. His name was Steve, and he's a Bucks fan. And this man's gonna think he's so smart, and he thinks he's so think he knows everything about football. And gonna say the reason why the Bucks were so bad was because of Jameis. No, you're stupid if you think that the Bucks was bad because of this Jameis Winston. No, it's your damn coach, because your coach proved it last year to me that it was Jameis' fault with all the interceptions. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Stop lying, because every dang quarterback that Bruce Arians has coached in the past, they always had their highest interception season ever. And who was that? He's a Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had a 26 touchdown to 28 interception season one year. Who is that coach? Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians was the head. No, he wasn't the head coach. He was the quarterback coach for Andrew Luck when he had his career high interceptions. Every person he coached as their quarterback coach, he always has a high interception. They always taught him no risk it, no biscuit type of stuff, and that's what caused people to look bad. But once they moved on from him, we started looking better. So, and that's what I'm telling you. With Jameis Winston being under Sean Payton, there's no way we're gonna be looking that bad, Jameis Winston, like I said, if he can just limit it to half to 15 interceptions and still keep that 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns in a season, right there, that tells you right there, that's a MVP stat right there. And he could be in MVP conversation. So, like I said, anybody who believes Jameis Winston can't be on the team and he's not a quarterback in the league and he just sucks, you're stupid. So, Mr. Steve, if you're in here and you wanted to come watch this live stream, I gotta just tell you, you're stupid. Okay? You're stupid. So let me read some of these comments up in here. Mr. Saints 01 says, true fine, solid backup, and if he's outplays people, he can start. You never know. Definitely, he can definitely be a good starter for us, for real. I definitely see him being a solid backup, but he can be a solid starter because you got to realize we still got Chris Rasay as our new defensive back coach, and he turns everybody into a really good defensive back. You see when he did, because they said Richard Sherman and all them wasn't really top prospects in the draft. They got him later on in the draft, and look what he turned Richard Sherman and Errol Thomas and all them into, two elite defensive backs. So what do you think he can do with a veteran that already knows how to play in the NFL? I'm telling you, and that's why I feel like Lattimore is going to be so much better this year too. It's because of Chris Broussard. Let's read another comment. Let's see, by Mr. Saints 01. He said, I say AK. Wait, hold on, I lied. That's the wrong one, y'all. I just read that one. Saints 01 says, F Steve, yes. Like I said, I don't like people that are Bucks fans and just want to talk trash about Jameis Winston and down him and saying, oh, since he's gone, we're so much better now. No. That's why I said it on it here, and I'll say it again right now. You're stupid, Steve. If you really think the reason why the Bucks was bad was because of Jameis Winston. Oh, because you got rid of Jameis. Look who you brought in. You brought a Hall of Famer, Tom Brady. They finally drafted a really good right tackle, first-round pick, to finally protect the quarterback. They finally went and got Leonard Fournette and some other people to actually have a run game. You went out and got one of the best free agent wide receivers out there that was causing trouble, Antonio Brown. You went and got Gronkowski out of the retirement. You went and drafted some other people in the draft for defense, and y'all defense was already kind of lit. Y'all just added a few more pieces to finish a championship team, and you're going to blame it on Jameis. Stupid. Saints 01. Let's see. Says, the Bucks had the worst O-line not long ago. They ranked 27 in defense. Winston had Evans and Godwin over 1,000 yards. He did, especially when he had to scramble for his life, That was one thing. Let's see. Somebody else in the chat. Big Daddy Jube, what's up, Lil Jube? Big Daddy Jube is my dad, by the way, y'all. He would have seen my stream last night, but he fell asleep. So that's why Mama Drew was in there. let's see. Saints 01 said Chris Lazard, I believe, got a Debo ready. So I'm gonna say this Lattimore and a Debo for our starting corners. I can say that too. I can feel like them two would be our starters for right now. And we just got to see what Trufant looks like. I mean, he ain't even played in practice with us yet, so we just got to see how he fits in our. You just got to see how he fits with us. So that's just one thing we got to check up on. Mr. Jerry in the comments saying, "Hello, Big Daddy Jube, what up?" By the way, Jerry, that's my dad. He's finally in the live podcast last night. Like I said, he just wasn't here to do it because he was sleeping. He's a hard-working man. He was tired. All right, and another topic, and I'm gonna keep the same topic with Jameis Winston, y'all, and I'm gonna speak some facts because I'm hoping this Steve guy comes into my chat so I can speak facts into him, but he probably won't show up. But if you actually look at Jameis Winston, right, and you look up his first 5 seasons with the Bucs, and then you look up Drew Brees' first 5 seasons with the Chargers before he went to Sean Payton and the Saints. Jameis Winston had a better season, to be honest with y'all. He had a better career start because you got to realize Jameis Winston got thrown into the fire with one of the most crappiest organization at the time. No O-line, and then here and there they drafted decent receivers, and you had to go through 3 different head coaches in 5 years. That shows you that the coaches were bad, the team was bad, and he was just thrown into a fire just with a bad organization. You just can't do nothing with that. So, with Jameis being thrown over there with barely nothing and just telling him to, sling that dang ball down the field, while Drew Brees, on the other hand, got drafted to the Chargers, and they had a good
I can't hear you. Hold on, let me go on my computer so I can make sure I'm not hearing you.
Hey, can y'all hear me? Hey, can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let's see. Can anybody hear me?
Okay, I hear you now.
All right. Can y'all hear me now? Comment in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Big Daddy Juice said loud and clear. Alrighty. So I guess I'll go back and repeat myself since the thing went out on me, y'all. So basically what I was talking about, I don't know what the last thing y'all heard about me before the audio went out, but basically, I said if you go and compare Jameis Winston's first 5 seasons with Drew Brees' first 5 seasons on here, and you look at the career that they had before they went to the Saints, they both almost have identical stats. The only difference, Jameis had a better first 5 years than Drew did. And you got to realize Jameis got drawn into the fire with one of the worst organizations at the time with the Bucs, with no good O-line, not even a good defense at the time either, with barely no weapons until they started drafting, Mike Evans and all them. And Drew Brees, on the other hand, with the Chargers, he got handed a really good team. You got LaDainian Tomlinson as your running back. You got Antonio Gates as your receiver. You had some good receivers, a good line, a pretty good defense. You had a playoff team. And Drew Brees didn't really, play to the Hall of Fame that he is now before he actually met with, the Saints and Sean Payton. So I felt like once Drew Brees came here, he changed his whole career around. Look where he's at now. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And that's what I'm trying to say. So just to read the numbers to y'all, Drew Brees had 16,545 yards. He had 105 touchdowns and 64 interceptions. Now, if you look at Jameis' stats for his first 5 years, he had 19,737 passing yards, 121 touchdowns, and 88 interceptions. So if you compare them to right now, Jameis had 3,200 more passing yards. He had 16 more passing touchdowns, but he had 24 more interceptions than him. So if you actually say, okay, that 2019 season, if Jameis would have just drew a little bit less interceptions, his interception would be the same as Drew Brees in the first 5 seasons. Plus, you would have 3,000 more yards and 16 more touchdowns. So just saying, if you compare these stats, Jameis actually had a first 5 years better with crappy organizations, and now you in good hands with one of the best offensive coach ever that can turn anybody into something. And Sean Payton, you got one of the best offensive lines in front of you now. You got Alvin Kamara, one of the best running backs in the league that can actually have a run game now, or somebody to check it down to instead of just chucking it downfield everything play, because that's what they had. And now you got one of the number 1 best wide receiver in the league, and Michael Thomas, and also Callaway, who's stepping up, signing out for us, which I'm so happy for. So just to read a few little stats to y'all. Also, there was a guy named Jameis 101 that came up, and he does studying on all these people, on all these different quarterbacks. And one of his favorite person that he loved studying was Jameis Winston. And did you know that since Jameis Winston has entered the league in 2015, and don't forget, he was a first-round pick, everybody, for a reason, but drawn into the fire at a crappy organization, this man right now, from 2015 to now, on third down conversions, he's number 1 in the NFL on third down conversions. But he's not a good quarterback, that's what people say, right? But let me hit you with another fact that nobody knows about. Red zone, in the red zone, his touchdown to interception ratio is 20-1. That's higher than Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson's. Okay, but Jameis ain't a good quarterback. Remember, that's what they said. He's not a good quarterback, though. Okay. And it just don't make no sense. And then if you look at more stats for Jameis Winston, they all going to tell you the same thing. It's going to say his tight window passes. It's probably top 5 in the league. And also another one, first downs. First down is the most important thing on offense. You got to get that first down. And what did he do on the first downs? He was ranked number 3, right behind Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes on first downs. He was ahead of Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and all of them. And you're going to say he's not a good quarterback. People are stupid for saying he's not a good quarterback. So I'm going to stop right here real quick and read a little bit of the comments. King Nat over here saying I can hear you. Keenup also says, yeah, he didn't have much help. Yep, Jameis didn't have a lot of help. Now he does, which is good. Saints 01 says, okay, I'm back. Glad you're back, man. I was finally fixing my sound. I don't know what happened there. Mr. Jerry over here said, I can hear you now, which is good. Saints 01, he said, I can hear you now. Winston, watch. I'm telling y'all Sunday, making a statement. Callaway and Harris. I can see all these players making an impact this weekend because I feel like a lot of people are going to sleep on them. So with people sleeping on them like that, they're going to feel played. So you see this bald-headed guy right here walking on a camera? That's Big Daddy Jube. So welcome Big Daddy Jube over here to the live podcast. Say hello, Big Daddy Jube.
Hello, Big Daddy Jube.
So he's in the building right now. About to read somebody else's. Let's see. So we got Kane MCC. He says, people forget Jameis was the #1 pick in the draft. We have a big arm quarterback now with a team/organizations. Facts. You finally got somebody that used to be a #1 pick for a reason that teams just drew in the fire. And that's what hoping, and I think that's what happens to a lot of quarterbacks these days. They get drawn into the fire, and the teams that they have to go save makes them look bad. It's like, I'm trying to tell y'all, the Jets ain't one of the best organizations, but if they don't get no weapons, really good weapons around Zach Wilson, get an O-line and the defense, Zach Wilson's going to fall just like everybody else. So it's been proven before that they can be a first-round pick for a reason, but they can look so bad and be a bust because you put them on the wrong team, and the media makes them look so bad. So I feel like Jameis is going to have an MVP season with us this year for sure. Keenup saying, my man Drew got all the facts. Yes, sir. I do all the facts before I actually speak it out to somebody. I don't go in there and just say, oh, yeah, I'm a Saints fan, but Jameis Winston just sucks. I can't have him as my quarterback. I'm not like that. I go through the study first, and I'll tell you what I think, what he can do off of his stats and stuff like that. King said, Jameis was always going to be QB1. Why remove Taysom from the Swiss Army knife position? I already knew he was going to be QB1 once he signed last year with us to be a backup, kind of saying, okay, this is showing that Jameis Winston really wants to learn. He wants to be just like Drew Brees. It's showing maturity in him. And if you notice, he's not acting all goofy and stuff like he used to, trying to eat W10s and stuff like that. He's actually maturing. And he actually has kids now, too, so he's actually more grown up and being more responsible, and he wants to be something else, you know. And that's what I'm really happy about for Jameis Winston. And I'm really happy what I heard from Coach Sean Payton. He literally said we re-signed Trevor Siemian yesterday for him, and Ian Brooks can fight for the #2 spot as backup because Taysom Hill is going to do his Swiss Army knife role everywhere, and he will not be the backup if Jameis went down for the season because they're going to use him in that main role because it's going to be too hard, you know, to Swiss him when he's practicing for everything. So that was a good thing to hear about in the chat. Mr. Jerry said, glad Murray is cut. Like, I'm not really glad, you know, because I like Murray. I like the way he backed up Kamara. You know, there was a 1-2 punch. But at the same time, just watching him in the preseason getting outplayed by these by an undrafted rookie from last year, and Tony Jones, it's just like maybe he's just getting older and he's just not the same running back. So, I mean, I can see why you kind of happy, you know, a little bit for him being cut. But at the same time, he did do a really good job in keeping us in the playoff run with and doing good on the games. I think he had like 3 rushing games with 100 yards or more while Kamara was kind of hurt. So that was a good thing, and that's why I said I hope his future in the NFL is still going to be good. You know, hopefully somebody will pick him up soon. And one of the teams I talked about earlier that I think is going to be a good pickup for Latavius Murray is going to be the Ravens because they just lost all their running backs. So I can see Murray maybe playing for the Ravens soon. Saints 01 said, y'all got to remember Callaway, Harris, and Tony Jones Jr. and Johnson all wrote out with Winston. They built the connection. Watson wrote that connection. We're coming, y'all. Yes, they all were working together during the offseason this year, and they were connecting, especially Callaway and I think it was Tony Jones Jr. was out there a lot, and and in the chat, like he said, Johnson was out there too, a lot. Which you think? I think they said Adam Truman might have went out there once or twice, but all these people that he named right here were literally all there with him all offseason, knowing that Jameis Winston was going to be a QB1. Like, I didn't see nothing about Taysom Hill working out with people on the side of the field, and I just feel like Jameis is more of a quarterback that wants to work his team chemistry with the people, get to know, like, hey, how do you run your route so I can, know when to throw it to you, So they're going to have that nice good chemistry, and I feel like we're going to have a great season, better than what most people are thinking. And just like 601 said, they worked that connection out this season. Yes, sir, they did. Definitely worked out everything this season, which I was happy about too. And then another thing that we can start talking about right now is, since Latavius Murray is gone now, Tony Jones Jr. will be the number 2 running back. So with Tony Jones Jr., y'all, do y'all think, what do y'all expect from him? Do y'all expect him just to come in, maybe, I don't know, get a few touches here and there, and they're just going to use Kamara like the number 1 running back that he should be being used and getting a lot of touches? Or you think they're still going to use Kamara in both the run game and the receiving game like he normally does, and just going to have Tony Jones doing the same thing, basically? Because I don't see – because, like, Murray was like that power back. If you needed 1 yard, he might can get it for you. But we don't have him anymore. But if he can do that, I feel like I can see Taysom Hill maybe playing that role. 3rd down and 1, 4th down and 1, anything that's short yards, I feel like they need to start using Taysom, because I've been saying that since he's been on the team. This man is so strong. He can get you at least 1 yard if you need it. Why not do a QB sneak, or why not do a fullback run or something like that? Just to Taysom. It's just so nice. It's like, why wouldn't you? So I feel like Tony Jones Jr. is going to be a nice, solid backup running back. And then I'm guessing running back number 3 is going to be Dwayne Washington, because Murray is gone. So what is y'all thoughts on Tony Jones Jr., y'all? I would like to see in the comment what y'all think of him, what kind of season you think he's going to have, and what kind of impact is he going to have. Because, like me, personally, watching the preseason, he did good running the ball. He did good being a screenplay. He did good finding the hole. But he did really good at blocking. So maybe on downs that we're going to be passing a lot, maybe they're going to have Tony Jones in the backfield just to catch up anybody that's trying to blitz through. And then if he does, he gets them in, hey, maybe puts him on the ground, then maybe he will cut to the outside and actually be available for a wide open screen. So I can see that happening with Mr. Tony Jones Jr. Anybody else got any thoughts on Mr. Tony Jones Jr.? And then also I wanted to talk about our receiving, of course, since we don't have Michael Thomas right now. So we all know that Callaway, he's going to be our number 1 receiver now. Till then, till he comes back. But I feel like if I had to name our top 5 receivers right now, without saying Michael Thomas, so we're not going to put Michael Thomas into this top 5. My top 5 would be Callaway first. I feel like Deontay Harris is going to be second. I feel like he's going to outplay Traquan Smith. And for spot 3 and 4, I feel like it's going to be out of Traquan and Little Jordan Humphrey. It's going to be out of them, 2 that's going to fight it. So, but if I had to put it in my opinion, it would be Callaway, Deontay Harris, Little Jordan Humphrey, Traquan. Yes, Traquan has fallen into the number 4/5th receiver, in my opinion, because he's always injury prone. He's not reliable when we need him, And then 5th would maybe be Chris Hogan, or maybe Kawan Baker, or somebody from the practice squad that they might bring up that will probably shine for us. Keenap commented about Tony Jones. He said, I got to look him up. I know you're a Miami Dolphins fan supporting my channel, so it's okay. I'll give you time to go look up some videos on him. Saints01 says he won't have the biggest stats, but he will make an impact in our offense. He can get good runs, and that gives Kamara a chance to get more slot and outside wide receiver spots where he goes off. Definitely. I can definitely see him, Kamara, getting a lot more touches now too, Um, because I don't know what it is. It's just like he's a running back that's so hard to take down. But then when you put him in the slot or outside, line up against a linebacker or a cornerback, he beats them too with his speed and just kills them. And he catches like a receiver sometimes, and it's just like you're a running back, my dude. But no, he's not a running. He's a running back, a receiver. He's everything. Just kind of like a Taysom Hill. He just don't throw the ball down the field. Saints 01 also says, plus you do that with Kamara, you gives Callaway more accents because they will want to double Kamara. Yes, there's going to be a lot of eyes on Kamara since Thomas is out. There's going to be a lot of eyes on him. But I'm going to go back to what I said in the last podcast, and I'm going to say it again today. If Callaway shows us and says, hey, I'm going to be that number one receiver for the first 5-6 weeks while Michael Thomas is out. And then Michael Thomas comes back healthier than ever, and he balls out. You're going to have to double team him, Michael Thomas. You're going to have to keep at least one or two people, probably at least two, on Kamara because he's so shifty. And then what if Callaway plays out like a number one receiver, and you just got to start double teaming him and stuff? What you going to do then? You can't double team everybody. You can't guard everybody. And that's what I'm trying to say is the defense, everybody that we're going to play, all the defense are going to be scared to play this offense because we're going to be so explosive, especially with that cannon of an arm we got now with Winston. And I'm telling y'all, he is so much smarter now. He can see better. He lost weight. He's smarter. He learned from Drew, and he finally learned how to check it down. So don't be afraid. I feel like Jameis is going to be our franchise quarterback for the future. I think he's going to be here for a while. Saints 01 says Harris will surprise deep threat. He will. Like I said in the podcast the other day, I really do feel like Harris will be used like a Tyreek Hill version because of his speed. His route running is a lot better than Tyreek. If you have to look at their route runnings, he is definitely better than Tyreek. And they're basically doing it kind of like the Tyreek Hill, to be honest with y'all. The reason why I say they kind of doing the same thing, Tyreek Hill, when he first came to the league, he wasn't being a receiver at the time. You know, he wasn't when he first came to the league, they used him as a punt returner his first season. What did we do with Deontay Harris? We did a return. That's all he did with this punt return. Last year, for his second year, what did Deontay Harris get to do? He got a little bit of touches on jet sweeps and stuff and got the ball drawn to him a little bit. What Tyreek Hill did in the second year, he did the same thing. And then the following year, they finally started using Tyreek Hill like a receiver because he has the speed. He's just too hard to guard because of his speed, and that's what I feel like Deontay Harris is going to do. He's going to be literally just like he'll be just like Tyreek Hill, I'm telling you, but better. Okay, that said, you're going to be selling those hats soon. Yeah. Whenever I'm finished done creating them, I'm going to make me a new one. I just made this one just for the fun of it when I was out in New Orleans with some friends, was at the mall. And I said, you know what, I'm going to just make me a Hoodie Jube hat for my channel and stuff just to mess with it. But I'm definitely going to come up with a design for this and start giving out merch. I'm going to start selling merch, and I'm going to be giving away merch here and there, maybe like once a week or something once I get them, and just give it out to a lucky subscriber. And also, like I said before, be bringing my lucky subscribers to the Saints games. It's going to be fun. Just having a whole day of the Saints football talk, watch the game, get some food and stuff. It's just going to be so much fun. So, can't wait for the Saints to come back. Let's see. Saints 01 said, Sean Payton and Winston equals success market. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, I feel like Sean Payton, with any quarterback that's got talent, like a talented arm, or can drill on a run or something like that, I'm telling you, you put that with Sean Payton, it's going to be a successful team. Because Sean Payton is so smart, and he's not a coach that's just going to have a losing seasons. And I feel like he just turned this whole franchise around and made us one of the best winning organizations that we had in like the last 5-6 years, you know. And that's what I like about Sean Payton. He's so smart. He can take a dude that was undrafted and turn this man into a Hall of Famer. And I don't know if anybody else seen it. I'm also surprised when Kevin White came on with his story, you know, with his injuries and stuff. And the Saints giving him a stat. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a big story if he actually makes the team. Well, he unfortunately got cut, but got re-signed to the practice squad because I feel like they really see something in him. And I seen a lot in him too that game. This man can get open. He just dropped the ball. So if he can just get back to his run to where he can catch the ball really good, I'm telling y'all, we're going to have something special with Kevin White. So that's another thing that I noticed about Kevin White being on the practice squad. I feel like he's going to be activated. Maybe week 1 they might activate him up to the roster for the game. But I'm guessing for right now till they do something, your starting receivers is going to be Callaway. It's going to be Callaway. If Traquan comes back and hopefully plays this weekend, it's going to be Callaway, Traquan, Deontay Harris, Little Jordan Humphrey, and probably maybe Chris Hogan. I think he signed to the 53-man roster. I don't think he's on the practice squad if I'm not mistaken. But trying to think of some other stuff that I was trying to talk about today. Let's see, the wide receivers. I know we was talking about the other day. I forgot who it was I was discussing with in the live podcast. There was somebody I was talking to, and he said he thinks that Isha Winston, I think his name is, needs to be our full-time returner. And I kind of agree with him because if he can show us something and actually be a punt returner just like Deontay Harris is and become that Pro Bowl returner, and you can put Deontay Harris at the receiver spot where he belongs because he's so freaking quick. He got one of the best moves, and can catch anything. I feel like the Saints can be so unstoppable because you're going to have Harris literally just for your receiver spot so he can stay healthy. Don't have to be doing these dangerous punt returns and stuff, getting hurt. And you can actually have him for the receivers. And then Winston, Esop Winston can actually take over at the punt return for us. So in the chat, y'all, I just wanted to know, out of all the receivers we got right now, so don't list Michael Thomas, y'all. But in the chat, tell me, and put them in order for me. Put them in order. Who you think is gonna be in order from top to the best? I mean, from the best to the worst. Who you think is gonna be our starting receivers, and that's gonna be the biggest impact? So, like I said earlier, I feel like it's gonna be me. It's gonna be Callaway 1. I'm writing something I probably can remember. Callaway, number 1. 2, it's going to be Harris. 3, it's going to be Little Jordan Humphrey. 4 is going to be Traquan. And then, like I said, 5, I feel like it's going to go to Mr. Chris Hogan will be my 5th. So, people in the chat, just let me know who you think is going to be making a big impact for us. Who do you have having an impact for us? I just can't wait for the game Saturday. I'm going to say Sunday. I have to look it up real quick and actually see when does that game start. Let's see. The Saints game is going to start at what, like noon probably? Because they always start early. Nope, their game starts at 3:25 it's saying, okay. So I think at 3:25 I'm going to be at work working, but it's okay though. I'll be screaming for the Saints and cheering for them while I'm at work, serving on people. It'll be all right. People just going to have to deal with me, So who's all in the chat still right now? Let me know who's in here so I can communicate with y'all. Ask me some questions. Communicate with me, y'all. Oh, also, if we want to kind of go out of the Saints news right now, I seen earlier that since the Ravens lost a lot of running backs, they have signed, I think, Le'Veon Bell to their practice squad right now. So let's see how he does with the Ravens. But like I said, I do feel like maybe since Latavius Murray got released, I feel like maybe his best fit might be the Ravens for right now. Madison says she's here. All right, you in here. That's good. That's good. Who's all else up in here still? So we can talk, have a good conversation about Saints, ask some questions. Don't be afraid. I'm surprised I didn't see my boy Mr. Lead up in here, because I know he was in here earlier today, way before the live was gonna be starting. But he must have been busy tonight because I ain't seen a leak comment once. I'm guessing for right now, while I wait for some other people to start commenting and maybe give some people some time to come to the live podcast, I'm gonna probably go over right now with our defense. Our defense is gonna look scary this year, and it's not gonna be a defense that you want to play with. A lot of people are trying to say, the Saints are done. Our offense is just fine, especially with Winston. And then now you got a really good defense, because to me, if I had to pick my cornerback 1, my cornerback 3, and my cornerback number 2, this would be my starting lineup. It would be Lattimore, QB1, I said QB, CB1. CB2 is gonna be a Debo. CB3 will be Trufant. Now you go to free safety. Free safety is gonna be Marcus Williams. That's his position to lose. I feel like we're gonna pay him this year, and next year we're gonna pay him a good thing and light him up because we can't lose him. And then for your strong safeties, it's gonna be Malcolm Dickens, and you also have C.J. Garner-Johnson. You can't forget about him in your slide. Mr. C.J. Garner-Johnson, CD Deuce. CD Deuce is another one. And then you start going to your linebackers. So I don't know how many linebackers they're going to play at once. I don't know if they're going to run the 2 linebackers or the 3. But if I had to pick linebacker 1, linebacker 2, and linebacker 3, linebacker 1, it's not even hard. It's Demario Davis. Davis is just I don't know why everybody disrespect my boy Demario Davis and don't let this man make it to the Pro Bowl. This man's a really good linebacker, and he changed our defense for sure. Linebacker number 2, no question, Mr. Kawan on our team. But linebacker number 3 will be literally shared, I say, between Zach Bond and Pete Warner. Those two are going to be the ones sharing that linebacker 3 when they got to switch in and out for linebackers. And now when you move to the defensive line for us, if you had to do defensive tackle interior, it's going to be Adamadu on 1, and then defensive tackle 2. I feel like they're going to probably – I think that new guy, Ringo, is looking really good, and him and Roach are doing really good. And then, like, the other defensive tackles that might have to switch in and out with Adamadu if he gets tired or something, like, or for, like, certain plays, you still got your boy Side Tuttle on the field, who's a good, I like that, and especially Carter when he stepped on Matt Ryan. That was one of my funniest moments to watch with him. And then for your defensive ends, that's gonna sound really good. Will be my defensive ones. You already know who that is. That's Cameron Jordan. Like Cameron Jordan's just one of the top defensive ends in the league. And then Davenport's gonna start for us. He's gonna sign out this year. Better keep your eyes on Davenport. And the people that's going to rotate in and out, that's going to make an impact for us on that defensive line, defensive end, it's going to be rookie Peyton Turner. He's going to have an impact for us. And the other one is the guy that we got from the Chiefs. I don't want to mess up his name, but I think it's like Passano or something like that. I forgot how to say his name. But he's another person I'm going to pick as an impact player on defense. And if you just look at all the people we have on defense, it's just so stacked on defense. And I don't know why people keep sleeping on the Saints, acting like we're not going to do nothing. And they see it year after year after year. The defense has been carrying us now compared to the offense carrying us. And I feel like with Drew Brees being retired and us having Jameis Winston now, that's going to make our offense so much better. And the defense is going to be so much better this year too. And it's going to be a locked-up defense. Because, if they stepped up and played hard for when Drew Brees was out because he was injured, how do you think they're going to play now that he's gone and that you got Mr. Jameis Winston back there now? They're going to be playing so much harder just to make sure that they can get the ball back any time of the day, that they can get more chances for Mr. Jameis Winston, who can definitely hum that down the field and throw it right on target into people's hands. Definitely. And Who's on the chat still? Since 01, King Nep, y'all still in here? Trying to get everybody's opinion on who they think is going to be, the impact players. Like the impact players. Like, on offense, if you ask somebody besides Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, your big names, who's going to be that person that's going to make an impact? My opinion, Callaway, Harris. Maybe Tony Jones Jr. Just depends on how many touches he gets. But for defense, for the new upcomers, I feel like Peyton Turner is going to make an impact. Davenport is still kind of like a new dude because he keeps getting hurt. So if he has his first, full seasons, he's going to look great with us. And the other people I feel like that's going to look good is Debo and Zach Bond and Pete Warner. Those two got something to prove at linebacker, especially Pete Warner being hurt. So hopefully he gets better soon too, to where we can actually see him on the field. I want to see him how he looks in a game, compared to the other ones. Just want to see how everything goes with that. But I'm going to sit right here real quick and write some stuff down, and hopefully some of our people up in here in the chat starts commenting on their opinions on defense, like who you think is going to have the biggest impact and who you think is going to have the impact on offense, King Nev commented, he said, yeah, that Luke Kuechly. Yes, he was. He is, I'm not going to lie to you, that Luke Kuechly, that's why I'm telling you, Pete Warner reminds me of Luke Kuechly, and I told King Nev that. I told him, I said, do you not remember Luke Kuechly, that linebacker from the Panthers that had a big impact? He was like, yeah. And I said, Pete Warner reminds me of that. And I told him that day of the draft that we drafted him, that moment that we drafted him, I looked up his highlights right away to see what he looked like, and I told everybody, this reminds me of Luke Kuechly. And I definitely told Mr. King Nepp that. He said, I forgot how to spell it. It's cool. Yep, he is fast as hell. He can run sideline to sideline. He's got like a 6'3" height, and he had the same. I think he had the same weight as Luke Kuechly too. So I'm saying you literally got you another linebacker just like him in the building. Just wasn't able to see him yet. Okay, and I said, yeah, he does play sideline to sideline. He definitely does. Love it. But since we don't have too many people up in the chat right now, and we had a few people earlier, but they must have already left the chat, probably went to bed or something. And since I basically went over everything, I went over Latavius Murray being released today. Also talked about Murray. We talked about Tony Jones Jr., what he's going to have an impact since Murray's gone now. We also talked about all the people that's hating on Jameis Winston and what he has. I was speaking to the facts to y'all, speaking the stats to y'all. So, I mean, there's no point in arguing saying Jameis Winston is trash because you're stupid. That's what you are. You're definitely stupid if you watch this. I just want to let you know, if you ever come after and just view it, and you're a person that's not a Jameis fan just going to say he's trash because you listen to the media and you don't actually go do actual study on him and really look up the facts, and the stats. So, then you're stupid. But Mr. Nepp says, damn, he's taller than Kuechly. Yes, he's a little bit taller, by like an inch. But I'm telling y'all, he's fast, sideline to sideline player. You're going to make an impact, especially with that Zach Bond guy showing impact in preseason. So, and we got Kawan back, 100% healthy. He's ready for week 1. So, that's why I said our defense is stacked. We went over everything with Latavius Murray, Tony Jones Jr., and my topic about Jameis Winston, about, people just saying he's trash. So, and I went into the facts and tell you why he's a good quarterback. So, with that being said, I am about to end the chat. And look who just sneaks up in the door at the end of my chat. Isn't that something? Oh, you're just going to hide behind the door and be shy? You better just walk out. They see you. So that's Miss Madison that was in the chat. That's my girlfriend. She's finally back from work. So I'm about to head out here. And I'm going to read this last chat by Mr. King Up. Like he said, deuces. And I'm about to be out too. But let me tell y'all again right now before I leave. If you don't know, you will know. There's going to be no YouTube without your boy, Hoodie Jube. And King Up says, haha, hey Madison. So, with that being said, deuces. Until the next time I do live, y'all.